In this section, we will introduce the world of web scraping and how we can interact with the internet to obtain data that's of interest to us. Now, it goes without saying that the internet is full of data. News articles, sports results, could be the weather, politics, foods, exercises, the list is endless. But how can we seamlessly interact with this data? Well, this is where web scraping comes in handy, and this section will walk through the fundamental features you need to learn in order to effectively scrape data from web pages, making your programs even more dynamic. Now, there are two key Python libraries that will help us in obtaining data from websites. The first is known as requests, and the second is known as Beautiful Soup. Now, these are very powerful libraries in their own right, and we'll be walking through how these libraries can help scrape data by picking some data from a website, so we're going to be using the National Weather Service in order to do this, scraping that data so that we can then perform some analytics in Jupyter Notebook. Now, although it's not essential, if you have an understanding of HTML, this will certainly help. But don't worry if you don't, I will explain high-level HTML concepts that crop up where necessary. So with that being said, let's dive into the concept of web scraping. So what is web scraping? Well, web scraping is a way in which we can collect public data in an automated way. Now, some websites offer data that is downloadable in CSV format, and that's very useful. You can download it and then simply read that CSV data into your program. Other websites allow you to access their data via an API or an application programming interface, but many websites with useful data don't offer these two convenient options. So for example, if I bring up the National Weather Service's website, we are presented here with up-to-date weather forecasts for every location in the US. But we can't download this data in an easy-to-read CSV format or via an API. We actually have to view this data on the National Weather Service's website. But we wouldn't want to come onto this website and copy and paste everything that we see. That would be far too inefficient. If we wanted to analyze this data, the best thing we could do is scrape the data from this web page so that it's available for us to perform analytics on. And the web scraping program that we build out will do all the hard work for us. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this section. Throughout this section, I'll show you how to perform the web scraping operations using Python, the requests library, and the Beautiful Soup library. We'll take some forecasts from the website, load them into a data frame so that we can analyze them utilizing the pandas library. Now, it's worth mentioning that lots of programming languages can be used to scrape the web, so web scraping isn't just specific to Python, it's a broader notion where we collect data from the internet. In the next video, we'll discuss how web scraping works in slightly more detail.